Hey, 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 what's going on, guys? This is James from MyTakeOnReality. If you guys can hear me, give me that one. Let me know that you can hear me, you can see me, that everything is cool, that that the Kremlins are not in full effect, making me ready to cry. Let's see. I don't see any ones yet. Okay, I see some ones. Awesome. I was a little nervous. Yesterday, technically it started a little late because I had jumped on, started talking to the camera, doing my whole spiel, and come to find out the Kremlins had already got me. And so we are in a full effect. All right, let me just move some stuff off my desk. Oh, just stuff all over my desk. I don't, what do you say? Cluttered desk, a cluttered mind. Well, what does that empty one mean? So, all right. As some of you may or may not know, after we did the live last night where we were talking about the MLM from Sister Wives Closet, looks a little dark. I did what I normally do. I don't take my videos down, so I just leave them up and just let them ride or whatever. And I started getting some messages. Folks started telling me, like, James, I went back to watch the video this morning because I couldn't make it to the live last night, and the video's nowhere to be found. couldn't see it. Didn't know what happened. So, it was what it was. So I don't know whether we had struck a nerve yesterday, or whether maybe I talked about things that were too sensitive. Maybe they didn't like the clips I used or whatever. So I figured I'd jump on here tonight and we do it again. The hell with it. I mean, we might as well talk about it so that way people who may not have seen last night's live can get at least a glimpse or a view of what we talked about. And just to be fair to everybody who came in last night, and thank you for coming back and gracing us with your presence. For those who came in last night, I'm going to be honest. As I was going through last night and I was doing the whole, what I noticed about the Sister Wife's Closet situation, I started to make revelations in the moment while I was doing it, and things started clicking for me, and I started saying, wait a minute, hold up, okay, wait, that doesn't make any sense. This would make more sense if it was over here. And as I'm arranging things in my mind, I thought to myself, you know what, that, my friends, is a video. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to clean it up. And we're going to talk about more specifically some of the things that I noticed last night. Just in fairness, most likely this won't be like one of the marathon lives that I normally do. So I'm not gonna hold you guys all night talking crazy stuff. So we can roll it. All right. One of the things that, of course, last night we talked about the concept of the Sister Wives Closet as proposed by Robin and the family. Hold on one second, because this thing is driving me crazy. It's all over the place. Okay, there we go. As we talked about it last night, the Sister Wives Closet as a business and as it was presented to the venture capitalists, in my opinion, was presented as a multi-level marketing business. Now, why do I say that? I say that for a couple of reasons. First reason, the Brown family has extensive experience in multi-level marketing businesses. How do I know that? I know that because when they first arrived to Las Vegas, if you'll notice, by the second or third episode that they were in Las Vegas, all of a sudden, Cody pulls up in the Champagne Murano with the convertible top. And he makes reference that car is actually from the multi-level marketing business that the family is already involved in. And for those who may or may not know, we'll get into it, like I said yesterday, we'll get into it next Sunday during the Sister Wives talk show. Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll get into it where we talk about the multi-level marketing business, how they're involved in it, and as well as some of the facets and the differences in the groups that you can join from the multi-level marketing business. One of those facets or those groups is the affiliate. Now, from the affiliate, usually they get celebrities and people of note that they can bring into the multi-level marketing business to say to people who are prospectively joining them or going to be a contractor that if you join, you could be just like Cody Brown and the Brown families as seen on TLC, or, who's, Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather. You could be like him. This guy made his money boxing, throwing punches. Now all of a sudden, we supposed to believe that his fortune and his fame actually came from a diet drink, an energy drink, or some cryptocurrency or whatever. And that's what they use in order to entice people to join these outfits. And part of the payout for that is that they will give you cars and money and trips and things like that. Like we're watching Janelle and Christine go away on trips and cruises and take advantage of that multi-level marketing opportunity, quote unquote opportunity. That's what they always say. This is a great opportunity. So that's the first thing. We know they have experience in it because that's how they're making their money. When Mary was back in Vegas, or when she was in Vegas and she started talking about, I'm going to buy the bed and breakfast and I'm going to just do more stuff and sell more clothes. That was for the multi-level marketing business LuLaRoe that she was involved with. When she said that she likes to entertain people and have people over at her house, when she was talking about the building of her and Cody's house in the cul-de-sac in Las Vegas, the reason why she had to have the wet bar because she likes to entertain is because that's where they were having the meetings for the multi-level marketing business. When Cody, Christine, Janelle, Robin, and everybody was sitting on the couch and they were talking about how they make money, some of the things that they pointed out, as I mentioned yesterday, was that they first talked about Janelle's real estate business. Then they talked about the multi-level marketing business. Of course, we're counting TLC as a big push for the Sister Wives and funding the Sister Wives Family Fund. But they also mentioned at that point that the multi-level marketing business was the business that they were relying on to take care of the family. Now, there's a third portion of this that lets me know that they have experience with the multi-level marketing business. As I mentioned yesterday in the previous videos, the gentlemen Stan and Amy, who were supposed to be the venture capitalists, were people that Cody and the family knew from their business relationships. And as I mentioned, the only business that they are in is the multi-level marketing business. So that's how they know these folks. So it makes sense that you would pitch a multi-level marketing business to people who are involved with multi-level or network marketing. You can get in on the ground floor. We could start this, and if you can give us the funding and the money so that we can start this right, and we can have like the pay scales and all that, then we will be able to basically be the top of the pyramid. In the pyramid scheme. Somebody had mentioned yesterday is Cody and the Schemer Wives. Like that's pretty much how they were trying to approach it. Now, when you look at it, I have things broken down basically into about 4 or 5 different topics. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, Becky, they got me. Becky said that they were watching last night, fell asleep, and they were going to get up this morning to watch it. It was gone. Yeah, they got me. It took a brother down. And usually I don't get like the any of the copyright strikes. I guess I've been lucky because I know Amanda and Sarah were both talking about they got hit. So I'm joining the crowd of all the other YouTubers who have been hit by the strikes. And I'm not sure whether it's, like I said, it could be from the company. It could be, I know there was like a notation that there were some regions that couldn't view the video because of some copyright stuff. But, I mean, America was one of those regions, apparently, because some people from America couldn't see the video. Which, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on. Somebody said the video is back up. I cut out a bunch of the stuff. Like I was in there cleaving and cutting, so a lot of it's going to be very dicey. In fairness, I tried to get it back up, and I didn't know if it was back up or not. So, but that's where we are. Now, one of the things that I will talk about, because I'm going to bring some receipts. I'm just not going to go crazy like I did last night. And I've been working on some of the clips, so hopefully they'll get through this time. If not, I mean, it is what it is. But when we talk about the funding of the multi-level marketing business and the presentation, part of the presentation, and I was a little disappointed because usually I like to ride Cody and Robin because they're pretty easy. But Janelle was actually one of the people because she was the person who was supposed to be in charge of the finances for the company. And she was the person who put together a lot of the numbers. And the numbers and the financial plan as presented to the venture capitalists tells me that it was a multi-level marketing business. Why do you say that, James? I say that because of this clip here.
We have honestly not had the funding to drive a marketing plan like we've wanted to. And we do have a great marketing plan. It's lined out in here with all the costs associated, and that's factored into the financial information.
How do you compete with the bigger picture with everyone else?
Well, honestly, it's just because people know who we are. They trust us. We're a family. They know what we're about. They know what our ideals are. They've watched our business grow.
So, two things. First thing, when they talk about they've watched our business grow, how do you compete in the big picture? Somebody made a very clever notation that the big picture is usually how Cody describes the family. So, in the big picture, in the big scheme of things, how would you be able to compete? Well, we'll be able to compete with the big picture or the other bigger competitors because they have watched us grow. Who's watched you grow? They know our family. They know who we are. They like us. We have a fan base. Who? The customers? If the customers would be people who watched you grow. And I assume that you're talking about they've watched you grow on your show. So if they watch you grow on your show and you talk about Sister Wives Closet, the business on your show, and how you have a website on your show, then I don't understand why you would need money for marketing. Marketing is so that you can notify your customer base of products, goods, or services that you are offering and be able to give it to them in a way that they can understand it, they can see it, and they can know that it's available. So if your customers already know that you have something, why do you have to advertise it? When was the last time you saw a McDonald's commercial where they said, hey, guess what, guys? We offer chicken McNuggets. We have chicken McNuggets. When was the last time you were watching a Ford commercial where they said, guess what, guys? We just started selling trucks. We sell pickup trucks. We sell SUVs. We sell sports cars in the form of the Mustang. The only time you see a commercial about a car that Ford or Chevy or even Mercedes-Benz is selling is when they come out with a new product that you may not be aware of. That's the only time. And as far as they're concerned with their marketing, as I had mentioned yesterday, I erased a lot of this stuff, but from my recollection, when you look at the numbers, according to them, on their website, they had the visitors to their website, they were looking at anywhere from 2 million to 15 million hits per month, but only sold 500 units per month, which is less than, it basically is zero. You're percentage-wise, you are operating at 0%. You have 0% sales from the number of people who actually hit your site. It's just the numbers, because statistically it was for the 15%, it was 0.033%. Which is essentially 0%. If you go to the doctor and you sit in the operating room and the doctor comes in and says, look, I'm going to perform surgery. And you say, doc, what chance do I have to make it out of this surgery? And he says, well, this surgery actually has a 0.033% success rate. then you need to start canceling Christmas. It's a full-on wrap. It's over. Like, why are we even doing it then? All you gonna do is charge me a bunch of money that I can't pay back, and I'm putting that bill on my family. And apparently, I'm not gonna be around to help them pay it. So what are we doing? 0.033 is zero. So you have zero sales, and you're saying that we have to let more people know about it. 15 million people is a lot of people who know about it, and apparently nobody is liking your product. And for you to stand there and say that we want $2.5 million for products that nobody is buying, 0% of the people on average are buying your product. So what are we giving you money to develop more products for? Or notify people that, hey guys, we sell products that apparently nobody likes. No company is doing that. The only way that this business plan made any sense whatsoever, unless everybody involved, including the Brown family and the guy, what was his name? Stan. The friends, Stan and Amy, they would have to be incompetent. The guy who helped them with the business plan, and he sat there and coached them on how they should get up and do their presentation for the $2.5 million ask. Everybody involved would have to be incompetent. Because there's no way in the world that anything other than a multi-level marketing business proposition or presentation would make sense. So I'm certain that that's exactly what it was. And when you look at it, I think that the scam and the scheme actually went a little deeper, because I think that the prospect of the multi-level marketing, this might be where I got in trouble, guys, and I don't care, because this is just my opinion, and we're just doing conjecture. We're having fun with this show that we watch and the possibilities of the conspiracies of what's going on and the theories that we have developed or I have developed. I'm just having fun. I'm just merely shooting the shit. I'm just saying stuff. Don't take it serious. It's just for entertainment purposes. But what's funny to me, if I was watching this and I was involved with this business, what would be funny to me is that it would occur to me, if I was in Janelle, Christine, or Mary's shoes, that you may have been given the idea that we're going to do this sales pitch in a way that we can sell this to them as a multi-level marketing business, and that's what they're telling us. But the things that they were doing behind the scenes, Cody and Robin, gives me the indication, or at least somebody who would be in Cody and Robin's position would give me the indication that they might be doing something slicker than that. Because things don't make sense. And this is what I was saying yesterday, and they took my video down. So I'm going to say it again. Things don't make sense. If you listen to what they're saying, things don't make sense. When you look at them talking about getting the money from the venture capitalists, they weren't saying we're going to go to the bank because all we need to do is get some more money. We get some more capital and we can develop all these things. And we can start making some good money. We can start making some serious money if we have the resources to be able to develop the product, put the products out. Usually this whole conversation would occur when you have this great idea and you're putting this stuff together and you're looking at your orders, right? And you have back orders for months and months and months that you have to fill, but you don't have the resources to be able to fill those orders. Then you might say to yourself, you know what? This is such a hit. I can't keep it on the shelf. They're flying off the shelf, flying off the store, flying off the internet. I can't keep it off the shelf. The people are not only buying my stuff, but then they're turning around and reselling it for double and triple the prices because it's so hot and so many people want it. So I have to be able to get enough of my merchandise and product out into the public or out into the marketplace so that way it would make sense for me to continue doing this business. So that way I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to get a loan, or I'm going to go to the bank and get a business loan, or I'm going to seek a partner who's going to come in and partner with me, who's going to bring something to the table that's going to allow me to fill these orders that I can't fill. That would make sense to me. What wouldn't make sense to me is that I have a garage full of merchandise that I can't move, and then I turn around and say, hey, can I borrow some money? Or hey, could you give me some money so that I could tell people that I have this garage full of shit that nobody wants? I have basically a garage full of junk and paperweights that nobody wants to look at. Or ugly ass costume jewelry that nobody wants to buy. And that's kind of where they were. So let's take a listen to what Cody had to say with regard to the money and the capital that he wants.
I'm not looking for a loan. I'm looking for venture capital. I'm looking for something that's going to grow our business very quickly.
And right there, when I say, like, I'm not looking for a loan, I'm looking for venture capital. What strikes me and what struck me even the first time I saw that was the idea that when he says, I don't want a loan, I want venture capital. What's the difference between a loan and a grant, or a loan and an investment? A loan you don't have to pay back. A loan you have to pay back. Venture capital, if somebody invests in you and you take the money and you put it into the business and the business doesn't work, you just walk away. Oh, it didn't work. Nice try. We all did our best. Oh, well. And you move on. But see, I think the way Cody, or at least the way somebody in Cody's position, I'm not even going to say Cody, because I don't want nobody giving me problems. Allegedly. Lindsay being killing me there yesterday. Allegedly. But if somebody in Cody's position, if I was sitting there listening to Cody talk and I was involved with this and somebody came to me, if I had $1 million, like I'm sitting up there, I hit the lottery tomorrow. And anybody who watching now, if you guys hit the lottery, you're going to have people, friends, family, strangers who are family coming forward, coming out the woodwork, asking you for money, asking you for loans, and asking you for investment. They're going to tell you they have the idea of the century and all they need is a couple $100,000 and they can make it happen. Or in Cody's case, I need $2.5 million and I can make it happen. And you have to listen to them with the third ear, and you have to look at them with the third eye to discern whether what they're saying makes any sense. The business proposition that Cody has makes no sense. And what it really sounds like to me is that he wants to try to create like if somebody didn't really understand how business works, they think that if I have money that's just in the business, kind of how he runs Cody Enterprises or Cody Brown Entertainment LLC, I have money in the business and I can take that money out of the business and I can go buy jewelry. If I have money in the business, jewelry like Rolexes and the watches, the clothes and the trips and the cars, and I can take that money and, hey, I got all these kids and I have to buy a house because we have to be housed and it's the only fair thing in the world to do. So I'm going to take money out of Cody Brown LLC and I'm going to pay for my housing with that. And for somebody who thinks that this is the way that you do business, when you give them an investment, guess what they're going to do with the investment money? They're going to take that investment money and now they're taking it and they're doing bigger stuff. He's not just buying one house. He may have 2 or 3 houses. He may be putting the money on big time vacations. He may be doing a lot of things with this money he shouldn't be doing. And unfortunately, as we talked about yesterday, when you take that money and you inappropriately use that money, you take that, they call that embezzlement. And people go to jail for embezzlement. Now, there's a part of this where I want to point something out that I thought was very important, especially in relation to Stan, one of the venture capitalists, as he was sitting there talking to Cody and them about, hey, I just want to talk to you about maybe how we could put this together to present this to somebody so that we could get an investment and maybe you'll be somebody who will invest in the company and give us money. When Cody did that whole speech, this is what Stan had to say with regard to the whole idea of the parameters of how they would give them the money. How would they give them the money? Let's take a listen.
We have to figure out how much percentage you're willing to give up.
Okay.
What's typical?
We probably look at about 30%. We call it stay in your lane. We get you the money, let us stay in our lane. We don't want to have our hands into your project at all.
You guys are in your lane and we're in our lane, but if we're not doing our job in our lane, you're going to come over into our lane.
Then we have the option to take the company.
See, that's the whole thing. That was a very important thing, because what Stan was basically saying was, we're going to take 30% of your company. Now, that's huge. And that was huge in a couple ways. But like I said, it really hit me different when I was thinking about it and I started putting it in line of how they were going to rip the family off and how they were planning on doing it. Possibly. Entertainment. How I would suspect this would be going down if I was listening to somebody in my family try to sell me the way Cody was selling the Brown family. This is what I would suspect. When they talk about 30% of the business. Now, initially, Robin is looking at it from the respect of, I don't want to give up 30% of my business. And that's kind of how I took it. Once you have a baby and you're developing it, you don't want to start parsing off pieces of the business that you created. You don't want to just start, because you want to reap all the benefits of the thing that you developed. And when you look at Robin and she's talking about you got to give up 30%. 30% is extremely generous for the venture capitalists. From my perspective, if you strip everything down and you look at, hey, Yvonne, how you doing? If you look at everything the way it should be looked at from a business perspective, the venture capitalists were going to put $2.5 million into this business. How much money did the Brown family put into this business? I guarantee you, with the 2 years supposedly that they had been working on it, they didn't put anything close to $2.5 million into that business over the 2 years that they had the business. They did. I would be surprised. I would be astounded if they even put anything close to $100,000, 100 bands up in that, up into that business. I would be amazed if that was the number. So for what you're asking these folks to do, you're essentially asking them to basically give you a business. You're asking them to give you a business. Hey, I have an idea and I don't really know what I'm doing. I just want you to give me a bunch of money so that I can figure it out. Is essentially what the Brown family was asking. So for them to say, yeah, we want 30% of the business, that was generous as hell. They technically should have said, look, if we give you $2.5 million, we basically want the business. We basically want the business. We're going to hire you on to design the jewelry, and we're going to use you as spokespeople so that you can sell the jewelry for us, wear the jewelry every chance you get, and we're going to give you a stipend. That's what we're going to do. And maybe if you develop the jewelry, if we continue to use you to develop it, because they'll probably have their own people and just basically strip the name out, because that's where they go from venture capitalists to vulture capitalists, where they take everything that's valuable from a company and just get rid of everything else that isn't valuable. Their product and their ideas aren't valuable because nobody is buying it. The only thing of value was actually the fact that they were on TLC and they had a fan base. That was it. That's what they would have been invested in. So they may come out with some type of agreement where they would say, you could take your designs, and if for every design that we sell, we'll give you like 5% or 15% of that sale for that particular design. And usually it'll probably be closer to 5, maybe 2 or 3% for each one of the sales. And then they'll screw them. That way. Now, where does it become horrifying? I think that what really gives Cody and Robin, or somebody in Cody and Robin's position, I'm not going to say them directly, what would give somebody in that position the shiver shakes, the shiver shake shits, would be if you were asked to give up that kind of power to this company, and especially when he says, look, we would invest in you, we'll expect 30%, we'll stay in our lane, we expect to just give you the money and you guys run with it, and then you basically pay us our money back plus the money, the 30% of your profits. That's the agreement. That's what they typically want. What would scare somebody who has no intention of actually running a business and plans on, basically running through the money in the coffers and then, taking off, what would scare them is the idea that they could take the business over. See, because at that point, it's not just a matter of you saying, okay, we ran out of money. Oh, well, we're closing. If you're not performing at certain levels, they can step right in. Now, what does taking over the business mean? Taking over the business means that they get the books. They don't just get to look at the books or crack the books open. They get the books. They are their books now. And then when they go through the books and they say, look, $2.5 million, and everything that we said about Mary, Christine, Janelle hiring a forensic accountant and going through the LLC, which is Cody Brown Entertainment LLC, to find out if the money was being spent appropriately. I can guarantee you that a venture capitalist is going to hire an auditor to come in there and audit those books. In fact, I guarantee you that an auditor is going to be in there auditing those books from the time that they get the money to maybe every month. And if they find out that there's something shaky going on, the auditor may very well be talking to them weekly, or they might set up shop in one of their houses so that they can continuously look at the book on a daily basis. There's no way in the world they would have been able to just freely deal with that money however they wanted. And that's what Cody was used to when he was dealing with the Cody Brown LLC and the sister wives. But there's more. There's more. When I was talking yesterday, what was this? Vixen. What's going on, Vixen? Vixen said, no, James, this is what they were saying. Give us the money, and we will possibly give you some of what we obtained from the charging. From the charging of the jewelry, maybe? All right. Let me see. Well, let me run through it. And you'll see what I'm saying. Part of the reason why I say that they weren't, if they were planning on actually running a business, there are a few things, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Because if they were actually planning on running a business, and this has kind of been my point, as I was thinking about the multi-level marketing aspect of the line of it, I think it was supposed to be a multi-level marketing business as proposed by Janelle, Christine, and Mary. Because they were involved with it, they know how they work, and who wouldn't be in charge of the thing? You know, if you're a comedian, you want to own a comedy club or a comedy venue. Because then you can, have your friends come down, and you, especially if you're young and you're still hungry and you aren't really getting booked a whole lot, then you want to have your own place so that you can have your own shows and you can go up as much as you want. If you're an actor, you want to have, produce and star in your own movies. You want to direct your own movies, direct your own projects so that you can control how things are being done. You see, when you come out and you're only getting the extra roles or the small, tiny roles or, one or two lines, you say, you know what, I'm a better actor than that. I should be the star of the show. If you're a singer, you want to have your own venue. You want to have your own band. You don't want to just sing backup. You want to be in the middle of the stage singing songs to an arena full of people. They do it. I'm a part of it. I see them doing it. I know I can do it, and I might be able to do it better. I think that those three women wanted to have a successful multi-level marketing business. However, when I look at what Cody and Robin were doing, they weren't doing anything to make any of that possible. Now, I understand that multi-level marketing businesses typically have junk for sale so that as a cover for them to be able to cover the fact that they have the pyramid where you're supposed to start bringing people in and join the business. I understand that. But typically the people who are in charge of those businesses don't plan on leaving those businesses the minute people start showing up and they get a check cut. Nobody cuts bait. Nobody who is doing a business ever has received funding for said business, and then second that the check clears, they say, all right, guys, I'm taking my vacation now. This is the biggest year. We have more assets, more capital. We can do more things with the money that we received, and I'm going to take off, guys. Nobody does that except for Robin Brown, apparently. And that's what I'm saying. That's where it's kind of weird to me. But let me run through some more of this, because what I was talking about was what I referred to as, let me turn this off. The play. right? Because what is the play? When I look at the play, I see where Robin is saying that she wanted to have a baby. Now, it was presented to us on the show. Again, I'm not just saying Robin. I'm saying if this is me, if I was sitting in Mary, Christine, or Janelle's position and I'm watching this happen, or I hit the lottery and I have a family member who comes to me with this type of opportunity, this is how I would see it. This is how I would see it. You have Mary, as soon as it comes in, it was presented to us the whole idea that Robin calls Cody in and she has a discussion with him. I'm looking to have a baby. I want to have a baby and I can't have a baby unless we get this extra money because I need some help. I need some help, Cody. I mean, the fact that she has a nanny taking care of the kids, and before they got to Vegas, she's always had help with her children. She's the only wife who has had help with her children from outside sources. Janelle, yes, she had help with the children, but she was also a major breadwinner who was bringing home money to help feed and clothe and shelter the family. And in exchange for her being able to do that, she left her kids with Christine, who was in charge of taking care of Janelle's kids while Janelle was out there making the bacon. She was bringing it home for Christine to fry it up in a pan. That's what was happening. So Christine was helping Janelle, take care of her family so that Janelle could help Christine take care of her family. It was a symbiotic relationship. With Robin, she went out, she came into the family, she did nothing but take from the family. She took from that family, she came in, I need somebody to help me with my kids, but not those sister wives. I would like one of their sister wives' kids to come over and help me with my kids, McKelty. And then when it got time for McKelty to go back home or do her thing or move on, and all of a sudden, I have a cousin or a niece that can come down and help me with the kids, and she has education, and then Christine had even made the reference that she wanted to take care of Robin's kids, and she felt a certain kind of way because Robin didn't want her to take care of her kids or be involved with her kids or ask Christine for help because she tried to keep everything separated. The fact that Robin came into the family and she wanted to keep everything separated, she saw everything as a goal for her to win, and she wanted to keep everything apart, lets me know where she's operating from. But let's take a listen to her talk about, with Cody, about having somebody come in and help her with her kids. Just real quick. And I'm going to give you the other side of it as I was thinking about it in reference to if I hit the lottery and one of my family members came to me and I heard them having this conversation, how I would feel about it. Let's roll.
I'm working really hard for my sister's closet. And I don't think I can have another baby unless the workload that
That you have with my sister's closet lightens up. Okay.
This is the reason why we need to bring on investors and we need to have extra manpower because I'm so overwhelmed. I couldn't even imagine trying to have another kid right now.
I'm so overwhelmed, I couldn't even imagine trying to have another child right now. Are you insane? Are you insane? I can't imagine having another. So you're planning on having a baby. Like I say, could you imagine if you hit the lottery or you got this big time job and you making that great money. You making that great money, right? And all of a sudden your family member comes in with a business opportunity they want to do to help them get some of that good paper, right? And you want to help your family. You want to help your family member. You want to do for them so that way you don't have to do for them, if you understand what I'm saying. You want to make sure that they can be able to take care of themselves without always having to rely on you. So you want to set them up so that they can be successful. And then you find out they ask you for $2.5 million. Hell, they ask you for $20,000. Not even $2.5 million. They ask you for $20,000, $200. As you want to. Crispy $200. Two Benjis, right? And you go into your bank and you ready to go get it, and you see on your phone where they had called you up. That's not my phone, but they called you up on the phone, and you see this video of the person, your family member, who had asked you for the money, talking with their husband or their spouse about planning to get pregnant instead of taking care of the business that they want you to finance. How out of your mind would you be? That makes no sense. You would be insane. I would be insane. I won't even put it on y'all. You guys are all beautiful people. You're not depraved like myself. I would lose my shit. Okay? Are you going to come to me and ask me for some money and then you're planning on me giving you money so you can take off? So you can take a break? That's when you should be on your grind. That's when you should be on grind time. When you ask me for money, you're asking me for my money so that you can do something. And in the minute I'm ready to invest in you in this thing that you want to do for yourself, you're telling me that you're going to lay down, take a break, you're going to take some time off, and you're going to use some of this money to provide for yourself. Because that's the one thing that I wanted to say with regard to this. And it didn't really hit me until I started talking about it last night. If you really think about what they're saying, they're essentially saying at a time when we're complaining about, as a family, we're constantly complaining about not having enough money, not having enough resources to be able to provide for the children that we already have. We can't pay for the houses that we just bought, had built, and just moved into and want to live in. We can't afford none of that. But instead of us taking a step back and regrouping and regathering and getting on it and making sure that we're able to achieve these things, we're going to go ahead, get this money, take time off. So what can happen? You're not going to grow the business while you're taking time off because, again, Robin was the one who was running the business. She was the one that was developing the jewelry. So what are we doing? Oh, I just missed Just Scrapping. I'm sorry. Let me go back to this. Just Scrapping. Hit the thumbs up, please, to help James and his algorithm. Love y'all in the chat. Thank you, Just Scrapping. I messed that up. I sure did. But yeah, that's what I'm saying with the $9.99 super chat. Aaron, the clerk, where you at? I might be able to get you. There you are. The clerk. Oh, YouTube is my time machine. Hey, what's up? $2 super chat. No message, just the love. Love of the game. Thank you so much. Yeah, they got me last night. Hey, you been talking about time machine. What did they have to say? She was planning on making those other wives work so she could relax. Yeah. I think to be honest with you, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm putting together now. I don't think it was just a matter. I think that if given the opportunity to have Sister Wife's Closet work as a functional business, when she thought that it was going to roll out and it was going to be a successful online store, she was setting it up so that she could have the Sister Wives work for her, and she could sit back, relax, and just sit around with a little pad and draw and say, "I'm the custom designer for Sister Wife's Closet." And at the end of the day, if she can develop a successful business, that gives her the freedom and opportunity to be able to walk away from the business entirely because she is the brains and the designer of the business. Let's be honest. If I was sitting here and I'm a singer, right? You Prince. Okay, Prince is going to start a record company. And he's going to use all the music that he produces. He's going to play the instruments. He's going to sing on the tracks. He's going to produce them, the beats and everything. He's going to arrange them. He's going to edit it. He's going to do all that. And then that's what he's going to do for his record company. Somebody comes in. I say, Prince, I hit the lottery. I want to buy your record company. I come in and I buy his record company. Prince leaves the record company. What is that record company worth? Jack shit. And Jack just left town. That's what that company is worth. It's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. Because Prince is the one who made that record company. Robin would have been the one who made Sister Wife's Closet successful, if it was successful. So do I think that she would have had the Sister Wives work for her? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when she realized, because even though you get excited, yeah, this is my stuff and this is all that, oh, it's going to be hot to death and I'm going to make it and then you're going to see my stuff, and you take your junk to online store and you do like 13 sales or 500 sales a month, 15 million people hitting that site, nobody buying anything on average. Statistically, you're at a statistical zero with sales. Then you go to St. George. And you, for 2 days, you sell 15, 20 pieces, 27 pieces, something like that. They made a grand total of $500 for 2 days between 5 people. Then you go to Las Vegas. You make almost no money in Las Vegas. She started realizing that this isn't a viable business. So when I say that this isn't a viable business, and again, if this was a family member and they came to me, James, you hit the lottery and this is what I need you to invest in, and I started listening to their story and I had the information that I had from this show, and my family member was asking me for money, what they looking to do is they looking for a retirement plan. They're looking for a retirement plan. They're looking for a way to get 2.5 million bones up out my ass, and they're going to take my money and they're going to disappear. Skip, scap, skedaddle, they're gone. And they're going to leave me with this bullshit business. Because when Stan was sitting there saying that we have the stay in your lane policy, and if this business doesn't work or is failing, we're going to take it over. What are you taking over? I take the $2.5 million, I spend it on other things, I invest in other things, I pay my house off, I pay for some other things, maybe I buy some more property, I put some money in a trust for my kids' education, so on and so forth, I hide some things out, I give myself a big payday, including paycheck and bonuses and incentives, because again, I am the designer of the jewelry. So I got to pay myself for the creation and development of these products. I pay myself as an executive of this company. All of a sudden, the money is gone because I've paid myself out from the company and from the funds in the company. Now the company is sitting on $0 in the bank account, 2 goose eggs, and then the value of the company. What is the venture capitalists, what are they going to take over? The junk jewelry that I have in my garage? Thanks for cleaning the garage out, jackass. Here's your stuff. There's your sign. It was a retirement plan for her. She's also asking for less responsibility at the time. I mean, think about this stuff. It's insane. Like like I said, if I'm looking at it from the perspective of somebody who had this type of money or this finance available, I would be hot. I'd be mad as hell. Then you start looking at the way that they were going to use Mary, because somebody said they're going to use sister wives. I think it was Vixen, and a few other people said that they would use the other sister wives. You put in the context what she was saying to Mary, because they did this whole presentation about the ultimatum. Cody, I want to have a baby, Cody. Cody, I want to have a baby. I want to have your child, Cody. And I can't do that if I'm too busy with sister wives. This business that we're trying to start. I can't do it, Cody. And then Cody's like, oh, well, Mary just came to me and said that she has something that can make her dreams come true, that she wants to do, that would make her so happy if she was able to pursue it. And that was supposed to be the yin and yang, the tension, the conflict between the two of them. But let's take a listen to the part of the conversation between Mary and Robin, and we'll talk about it on the other side, because again, I'm looking at it a different way now.
I thought that you and I were doing this together.
We are.
Okay.
Well, having a business, having a boutique, this jewelry business, it's not something that I've wanted to do all my life like you have. Like, my dream has to be to finish college.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? If my plans are falling apart, things aren't gonna work out. And when I say this, what did Mary say? This isn't my dream. This is what I didn't wake up all my life and say, you know what I want to do in my life? Own a jewelry store. I want to own a boutique jewelry store. Have my own custom designs out there. That's not what Mary wanted to do. From season 1, episode 1, Mary has always said that she wants to go back to school so that she could work with kids, deprived kids, or in-need kids. Kids who have issues and things. She wanted to work with kids who were struggling. She wanted to work with children, which is very notable and is very noteworthy for Mary. And it's cool. It's cool as hell. Like I would, if I was like I said, if I hit the lottery and I had a family member who wanted to do that and I was listening to Mary's story, I would give Mary money. Mary, you go ahead back to school. You know what? Your tuition is paid. Here's some book money. As a matter of fact, screw it. They go you a car so you can get there in style. Have a good time. If you need anything else, let a brother know. I could get behind that because that's something that's important to her, something that she wants to do, and it sounds like it's something that she's committed to doing, something she has passion for. It's not, just because it's school. No, it's something that she's passionate about. And I can get behind that. What I can't get behind is you telling me that this is your hope, your dream. You've always wanted to own a jewelry store, and you have an opportunity to do it. And you have not only an opportunity to do it, you're kind of doing it a little bit, but you have an opportunity to do it big time. And the first thing you want to do is take a gone break. Are you crazy? And there was something that was brought up that really hit me. It just seems like every time, and I mentioned it yesterday. I think Sarah from Reality Squad had mentioned it. Somebody on Reddit had mentioned it. There is a point where these people will always have something that they want to do for themselves. Something that they've dreamt about doing, something that will make them happy, something that they want to achieve for themselves, some goal, some dream, something that they want to reach for. And every time they turn around, Robin is sitting right there to tell them that they can't do it or she won't allow them to do it. Like, for instance, like just sitting there now. This is something that Mary had talked about doing back in season 1, episode 1. Something that she direly wanted to do. Then all of a sudden it's, no, you can't do it. It makes me sad. When Mary was talking about doing these things, I was ready to get up and walk out. What? You're getting ready to leave because Mary said that she's finally in a position to be able to do something for herself? And you're mad because she can't do something for you? You're ready to abandon a relationship because she can't make you happy. When Janelle had proposed the gym because she was going to the gym, she was feeling good. Janelle was looking good too. Janelle actually, when there was a point where Janelle was talking on the couch, this is a side note, she was talking on the couch and she said that when they went to talk to Stan and Amy the first time at that little meeting where they proposed to Amy and Stan that they wanted to possibly do a presentation or maybe get some money from them, and that's how they got the second meeting with the Shark Tank group. And she said that Stan made her feel stupid because he started asking about business plans and, we going to give you this money. How we going to get it back? Questions you would expect somebody to ask. Somebody asks you for a loan, man, can I borrow $1,000? Well, how you going to give me my $1,000 back? You ain't got no job. Your ass always calling out of work. And when you give them that $1,000, you going over their house. I heard you call out of work today. You need to get your ass up, get to work, because you need to give me my $1,000 back. Let's go. I'll drive you. Right? And so she said that, when that happened, I felt stupid. We felt so stupid. And the way she said it, she looked just like Maddie. It was almost like if you could have told me that she was Maddie, I might have believed you. Because she looked just like her. She lost a little bit of weight. She looked just like Maddie. The two of them, like, it was astounding. Like how much, it's almost like somebody broke one of Janelle's toes off and grew Maddie in a petri dish. Like, they look just alike. It's crazy. But the whole point is that when Janelle was talking about starting that gym, they all sat around and naysayed it, and Robin came in and she naysayed it and talked about what a big expense it was going to be and how it wasn't going to work. When Mary talked about buying a bed and breakfast, Robin was one of the first people come in and talk about, you need to come in with a business plan. Christine asked for the business plan. Robin demanded that Mary give her a business plan. And she also came back and said it doesn't work. She was upset because she was afraid that Mary was going to go do something for herself. But she has no problem with, oh, Mary wants to acquire some property. I'm afraid she's going to go do that by herself. But Robin had no problem acquiring property for herself and taking a huge amount of the resources out of the family fund to acquire property for herself. And I can go time after time after time when she's done this. Let me hit this super chat. Cat Bloomfield, what's happening, Cat? How you doing? James, VCs almost always have multiple venture capitalists have multiple board seats where they control executive compensation and approve budgets. They are more likely to cut their investment and cash out if they see mess. This is true, but I don't think that Cody and them were really aware of it. All they saw, I agree with you 100%, because when they give you that money, they're tight on you because they're looking for a way, in most cases, and this is maybe not fair, and I won't say most, but in many cases, when somebody from a venture capitalist group, a venture capitalist investment group is talking about giving you money, there's a possibility, a very strong possibility, especially depending on the one you're dealing with, that they're trying to find a way into your business anyway to take your shit over. They're not trying to just give you the money so that we can all be happy and make our dreams come true. They're trying to take your money, take your business so that their dreams can come true. So don't get it twisted. And that's why when you deal with them and you're looking for that kind of money, you want to make sure you have everything locked in and locked down. Because this is where you get like hostile takeovers or pirate capitalism or having your company taken over. This is where it comes from. Like these venture capitalists, vulture capitalists are no joke. They'll take your company over, strip your company down, break it up, and sell it off. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Audrey Bringer, what's happening? How you doing, Audrey? Janelle's a beautiful lady. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I like her soul. I like her spirit. Don Super Chat, thank you very much. Yeah, but she looks just like Maddie. Like, especially when she says certain things. I should say Maddie looks just like her, in fairness. Maddie looks just like her mama. Like, Maddie is her mama. Like, she looks just like her mama. It was so crazy to me. I was like, what, Maddie? And you can, especially in the pictures of Janelle when she's younger, I see Maddie all over those pictures. It's crazy. It's crazy. But so we talked about Mary and that there is a part where I do want to come back to Mary, and I'm gonna tie it all together. I've just got to make a quick note to myself so that I don't forget. There was a point, and again, this is where it starts to get kind of shaky for me. If I was a guy, and I'm not saying the Brown family did this, I'm not saying Cody Brown did this, I'm not saying that Robin did this, I'm just merely saying that if James from My Take on Reality, my channel blew up tomorrow, and I had millions of dollars, crazy, or I hit that lottery, that Powerball, Mega Millions, Jigajillions, or whatever the hell it is, I hit that mother, and all of a sudden I'm sitting on top of money and I'm listening to people who are asking me for money, have these conversations. This is what I would be thinking about those individuals. And I'm merely using the Brown family as an example of what I'm talking about. When they went to talk to the therapist, who basically I'm trying to be nice. Therapist Nancy was essentially a useless character on the show because she wasn't fixing no problems. Let me see. Just real quick. Cat Bloomfield. VCs will get their money back come hella high water. LOL. Yeah, they will. They gonna get their money first, second, and last. Let's say my Sayoshi sign. Yeah, right. They gonna get their money. They taking all their money. And that's at Raspberry. Yep, they have to report monthly or quarterly, and if they see something, they will literally reverse the decision. Yeah, they'll take your shit. They will take your company, and they'll take your company over, and then take their money back from inside your company. And they are not above taking to sue you or have you arrested if they find out that some kind of malfeasance went on with regard to the expenditure of the funds that belong to the company. So if you're taking those funds from the company and you're paying your house off with that, there better be a damn good business reason as to why you paid your house off, or the company has just bought your house and they will come and take your damn house from you. Audrey Bringer just, James, I said that today. The therapist was useless. Yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch some of this stuff, but yeah, she was like, what the shit? Like, Cody would just sit there and basically come off and say whatever he wanted to say during these therapy sessions. Like, it was just, and it wasn't really helpful because he was being extremely hostile, volatile, and I don't want to misstep again and have this video canceled, but he was mistreating them in some of these things. Kent Bloomfield, yeah, fraud charges, boo boo, yeah, fraud charges, embezzlement. You know what I mean? Like that. And again, like, I think that when you're dealing with just before I get into like the whole discussion with I'm about to call her Nurse Nancy, with therapist Nancy, the thing is that, again, I'm looking at it from the perspective of somebody who doesn't really have an understanding of how LLCs or businesses work. When people hear corporations, whether it's C Corps, S Corps, or LLCs, limited liability corporations, when they hear these titles, what they think of is the sunshine, rainbow, and beer and Skittles version, of what corporations can do for you. For instance, you can watch on YouTube or any one of these channels when they start talking about business, get yourself a limited liability or LLC so that way, if anything happens, your personal assets are protected. Anything that your business does, your personal assets will be protected. They'll be behind what's called the corporate veil. And if anything is covered by the corporate veil, what that means is if you make a business decision in your business and something happens, something gets hurt, you've damaged somebody, somebody's injured, either physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, whatever the hell it is, and you have any type of financial or fiscal responsibility to that person because of said injury, then they can sue the company, but they can't sue you and take your stuff. They can't take your house, your car, your money, your bank accounts, etc., etc. Those things are protected behind the corporate veil. Now, there are a few ways that the corporate veil can be pierced. That's what they call it. When they sue you and they say, oh, no. You and Robin are the CEO and CFO and COO, the executive board who are making decisions for this company, and you worked in concert with each other to perform this fraud, this embezzlement, or whatever the case may be. We're going to reach into your money, your personal finances, etc., etc. We're going to pierce the corporate veil, and we're coming after your personal assets. That's completely possible. But for people who may not really understand how these businesses work, you could find yourself in a situation where you think you have a certain level of protections that you don't have, and you can get yourself into trouble. Tiffany H., I'm sorry if I'm just kind of reading through the super chats. I'm just trying to get through this because I don't want to get banged out again. But I will be going back and reading some of the non-super chatty chats because I think that's important as well. Tiffany H., $2 super chat. For those who missed it, what happened with your live? What happened with the live? I don't know. I think I said something in here that I'm saying now that some folks say like, and it got pulled, or they didn't like the clips I used, and or something happened that maybe something was said. I said something that they didn't like, and they said, "Oh, that's too far," and it got pulled. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact I'm talking about multi-level marketing, and I said directly it was multi-level marketing businesses, and I said that some of those things were fraudulent. They might not like that. I might have got banged out just now because I said that. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm kind of curious now. That's why I kind of fed that in there to see what's happening. Then Rochelle J said it's the clips. I don't know, because some of the stuff, like there's a workaround that I use that's been working. So we shall see. We shall see. And I haven't seen any messaging come up. So we shall see. I've made some adjustments. So hopefully it's a little different. Thank you. Ivana, appreciate that. Say, James, you are very knowledgeable. I try to be. Just know a lot of different folks. Different folks. They got different strokes. Audrey Bringinger, I think I will be talking about that. Romance and financial scams. Yeah, because some of this stuff is just like, it just make your spidey sense go up. Like you hear it, like, what the, that, no. 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 Thanks for, no problem, Tiffany H. Thanks for the clarification. Keep us posted as you find out. We'll find out by the end of this live. I tell you what, we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, so when they met with Counselor Nancy, what were they sitting there talking about? Again, if we put ourselves in a position of somebody who hit the lottery and we're talking to a family member or friend who is having these meetings, and we're just sitting there, say we're sitting there like Nurse Nancy having these conversations. Therapist Nancy having these conversations, just letting everybody just go off and say anything they want. Screw you, lady! I don't give a damn. Knife in the kidney. Like Nurse Nancy should have been there for that, but she would have did nothing. She just would have sat there and wrote it in her book. Like, what the shit? Like, you got to break that down. Like, no, we're not doing that. What I'm not going to do is sit you and let you go off on these people like this. Not in my office. You need to relax that a little bit. Tone it down. Oh, I got to say what I need to say. You can say what you need to say, but you don't have to say it in a destructive way, in a destructive manner. That's not helping anybody. Yeah, you might be upset. You might want to vent things, but we have to do it constructively. Like, we're not just going to go crazy on each other. That doesn't help anybody because that starts to build walls. And then how are you helping anyone once people start building walls up and they feel like they need to be protected? If anything, that room, just as a personal aside, and just my position and my opinion, that should be a place where I should feel like I can go there and have a conversation in a safe space. I know they say that a lot, where I can have this conversation and I'm not going to have somebody jump up and try to, jump down my throat every time I open my mouth. So that's just my perspective. But when we look at this whole thing with the nurse, and she's Nurse Nancy, the therapist Nancy, and she starts talking about the executive positions. Now, keep in mind, there's certain terms that are going to be used that indicate, like the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, the COO. The Chief Executive Officer is not a dictator. They don't get to decide to do whatever they want to do. Historically, the job of the CEO was to have and build relationships and to be a liaison, to liaise between the staff, workers, employees, the shareholders, the government. So if you have any ordinances, statutes, etc., any type of limitations, rules, regulations that will impact you from the government, that you would deal with those things to try to navigate those waters, as well as dealing with any of the local government policies, procedures. If you have a building, you may have to talk to them about expanding that building, maintaining the lease on that building, zoning, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different hats that you do. And basically the job of the CEO is to try to juggle all those things and to have all that information that comes in from the COO, the CFO, and different parts of the organization funneled through him so that he can help to guide and direct the company and move the company forward. But by no means is the CEO just making decisions. That's a very TV way of viewing people who are CEOs in corporations. Oh, he's the CEO of the company. He can do whatever he wants. No, he can't. Because the CEO, at the end of the day, will always answer to the shareholders of that company. And they can fire the CEO of the company. So they just own more stock or whatever, then all of a sudden even in storylines that they put in Hollywood shows or in movies, TV, so on and so forth, kind of lazy writing where they say that the CEO owns 51% of the stock or 60% of the stock, so therefore it's his company and he can do whatever he wants. No, you can't. Because even though you can make certain decisions because you own more stock and you have more shares than everybody else, and technically you will own more of the company, you still have a fiduciary responsibility to everybody else in that company. So it limits your ability to be able to do whatever you want, because you have to make as much money for them as you possibly can, because that's your responsibility, amongst other things. This is very pared down. But there's the COO, which is essentially what Robin was doing. The chief operations officer is somebody who is going to take care of the day-to-day function of said business. So, like the accounts receivable, the things of that nature, making sure that accounts are getting paid, that the business is functioning properly, making sure that orders are coming in and they're being taken care of, making sure the website is functional. These are all tasks that the COO will do, making sure that the designs are being put into production. These are tasks of the COO. Then, of course, you have like what Mary would have been doing. You have the CFO, because those are the three things we'll be talking about: the COO, CEO, and the CFO. The CFO is the Chief Financial Officer. Now, the Chief Financial Officer is the person who does the money, keeps an accounting of what's going on as far as the resources that are available to the business, what's coming in, what's going out, what we are making, what we will be making, profit, loss, so on and so forth, liabilities. This is what happened when councilwoman or counselor or therapist Nancy, I don't know if she's a counselor or a therapist, I think she's a therapist. Therapist Nancy started asking questions about the CFO position.
I thought that you and I were doing this together.
Oh, what the hell?
Okay.
Well,
We have to fix some things, apparently. Let me just make some adjustments real quick, because that was terrible.
I thought that you and I were doing this together.
we are.
All right, yeah, so we blew that. Let me just give it a moment real quick, because this is where it gets weird. Let me see. I'm going to read some of these things. Cat Highland said, I don't think that Cooter knows that big word, James, fiduciary. Well, he gonna learn another big word called penitentiary. He gonna be in there, especially when there's a couple places you don't want to be with them long curly locks. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, Cody. You know what I mean? They be calling him cutie boy Cody. You know, you make $2 million? Oh, brother, you might not even be getting state time. You might be messing with the feds on that one. Gina Fitzgerald. Janelle has a degree in accounting. Yes, she does. She should control the money for the family and the business. She does control the money for the family and the business. Well, she doesn't control the money for the family and the business. She does the accounting for the family, and she was trying to do the accounting for the business. And there was 2 points where Janelle, and that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up, because I think that that's also important. When we talk about Janelle being responsible for the accounting, Janelle has been doing the accounting work for the family the entire time. Even when they went to Arizona, Janelle was still doing the accounting work for the family. She was doing the taxes, preparing all the documents, etc., 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 for the family, right? And the funny thing to me is that when they try to get Janelle involved. I want you involved, Janelle. I want everybody involved. Remember, Robin's trying to convince everybody to join Sister Wife's Closet, quit their jobs, and just focus on the business so that she could basically be in charge of them through Cody. I need Cody to be in charge. And I don't think I want to be in this business, Robin. No, I need you, Cody. To do what? You know, to do things. Like basically tell the other wives what to do. But it was at that point where they went to the thing in St. George, the convention in St. George, where they went down there for 2 days. They set everything up, had an abysmal showing, terrible showing, terrible. They sold maybe 27 pieces, right? 27 pieces of jewelry over the course of 2 days, right? Between 5 people, they sold like 20 pieces of jewelry, 27 pieces of jewelry. And Janelle had asked for all the numbers connected to that convention. And she came back and her report was abysmal. Then, for the second report, when they did the Las Vegas convention, Robin didn't give Janelle the numbers. And I did a video about it, I think it was last week, when I ran through the numbers. And one of the things that we discovered at that point is that even though they sold less pieces, somehow they made significantly more money using Robin's magic math. And that's one of the things that I think that Robin, like I said, I think that Robin has always kind of held it out for Janelle, didn't like Janelle, because Janelle was paying attention too close to the money. Robin likes the money, but Janelle was paying attention too closely to where the money was going and what the money was being spent on. And that's where I think that some of that problem and some of those issues came in at. But let's take a look at this CFO discussion. We'll see how this works.
Who's the kind of CFO amongst you?
That would be Robin. Robin's been managing the accounts payable, the accounts receivable. And when I said that Robin is the CFO, Janelle got upset.
I
Yes,
didn't
you
hear my
did.
role mentioned. I mean, my name mentioned anywhere with the financial. And so I'm like, well, then what do I do?
Cody got nothing to say. What do you do? What do I say? What do I say? You know? What do I say? Because that's the one thing that Janelle can do. She can't design jewelry. She said during that meeting, she said, I have no interest in designing jewelry. Zero interest in designing jewelry. I have zero interest in trying to sell this junk. What I want to do is, I want to know where the money comes from, where it's going, what's happening with the money. I'm staying up late at night to take care of these numbers and try to crunch numbers to prepare a financial report so that we can submit it to these investors so we can get this big money. Part of the reason why they went to see the therapist in the first place was because they had this meeting coming up where they were going to ask for $2.5 million, and Cody wanted to use this meeting as a way to try to get them in line. Again, if I was listening to them tell this story and I'm just the guy whose family or friends are asking him for money and I'm listening to them talk and I'm sitting there with Nurse Dad, who's the CFO, who's going to be in charge of the money? And I know I have somebody here, one of the people who is asking me for money, who is dealing with money, has a degree to deal with money, has an accounting degree, and has done the financials for the family the entire time they've been together. And then all of a sudden you talking about she gonna do it. Why is she not doing it? Why isn't the person who is most qualified to do the job doing the job? That would be my question. And the reason why, in the back of my mind, if I was sitting there with my friends and my family, who are not the Browns, because I'm not accusing the Browns of doing anything. If I was sitting there with my friends and my family, and this was going on, I would think to myself, you don't want somebody who knows what they're doing watching this money because you plan on doing something to the money. That's what I would think. Now, some people will say, James, maybe you just a little pessimistic. James, maybe it's just your hard heart, your evil soul. It makes you think that somebody would do this to their family or their friends. But as Lowe said, alarms would be going off. That somebody would be standing in the middle of the room waving that big old red flag. James, this is bullshit. Get the hell out of here. There's something wrong. The spider sense would be going crazy. The hairs would be standing up on the back of my damn neck. Because I know that I'm about to get gaffled. You guys are about to take me under for $2.5 million. That would be a problem. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys think I'm full of crap, let me know in the let me know in the chat section. Just say, James, you full of shit. This is how it's always done. I don't think so, though. Because I would not feel comfortable. If I had friends like this and they were asking me for this kind of money, I wouldn't feel comfortable giving them. First of all, most times you don't feel comfortable giving them money anyway. We're going to keep it all the way a stack. Nobody's ever saying, yay, I'm going to give my friends a loan. You know what I mean? You don't feel comfortable doing it. You'll do it because these are your friends and your family and you feel that loyalty, but you're not excited about it. Yay, I get to give them a loan. No. right? But you definitely aren't excited about giving a loan when shit is like all kinds of crazy. The people who know what they're doing aren't going to be in charge of doing that thing. I wouldn't feel comfortable at all. I would even say, Cody, I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't feel comfortable at all. You're not putting me in my happy place. You're not putting me in a place where I feel like I need to give you some money. So that's the first part about it. Then we take a look at Janelle. Like I said, she's sitting there, and what did Janelle have to say? And this is the part, again, as I'm sitting here looking at it, Janelle, when I first saw her say this, and I've seen her say this a few times because I've watched this a couple times, and I never really put it together this way. But the way I'm looking at it now, alarm bells were probably going off in Cody's head. When Janelle started talking about this, he was probably going crazy on the inside. Let's take a look at what Janelle had to say.
I have no desire to develop products, none.
Do you only see yourself as financial though?
That's all I see. I do have an interest in the numbers and figuring out how it's all working.
I have no interest in designing jewelry, but I do have an interest in the numbers and see how it's working. I want to know where the money is coming from. I want to know where the money is going. I want to know what we're spending the money on. I want to know what we're not spending the money on. I want to understand how this business is working. The inner parts of this business. I don't need to know how you're designing the jewelry. I don't need to know what products you're coming out with. I just want to see what we're spending, what we're putting out, what we're getting back, what we're paying to so that we could put the products out, and then what we have at the very end. I want to see what the profits are. And when you have somebody who is saying in a meeting, and again, I'm not talking about the Brown family. I'm not talking about Cody or Robin. I'm talking about if I won the lottery and I was sitting there with my friends and family and I was listening to somebody talk like Cody and Robin are talking, what I would be saying is you trying to keep the money away from somebody who is going to pay attention to where the money is going. Why is that? Why don't you want them to know where the money is going? These are the people who are going to be most responsible in making sure you get your money back. Let's be honest. If you have a group of friends that you're going to the restaurant with, you and your buddies are going out to the restaurant to get something to eat, or maybe you going to the bar to, toot toot, right? And you sitting there, you feeling good, and you want to have one person because you know you're getting one bill. Everybody got that one friend who collects the money at the end of the thing because the bill come and they collect the money. They make sure that the bill get paid. Now, there are people who, because I've heard people say this, not to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about politics on the channel, but I've heard people say in politics that this person is a winner because that's the type of person that you want to have a beer with. The problem is, when I think of people who are going to be financially responsible for things that I want done or I am doing, I don't want people that I'm going to have a beer with. Because those people are fun, and they're a good time, and it's a great time, and they're usually reckless and crazy. The people that I want in charge of, though, I'm thinking about those positions of responsibility, I'm thinking of people who aren't going to be the ones I want to have a beer with, but the ones I can rely on to help me pay the tab. That's who I want. Right? And if you're talking about, again, if I'm James, Mega Millions or the Powerball, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying the lotto, and I'm sitting there saying to my friends or family, I would have a beer with this person. I don't want that person in charge of the money. The person I want in charge of the money is the person who's going to make sure that I get my money back, or make sure that if I'm giving this money to somebody as an investment so that they can take care of themselves or their family, that they can make sure that that money will be used properly so that the thing that I'm giving them the money for, the money will be used for that thing. I'm not giving you money so that you can go to the club on Friday and have a great time by the bar out. I'm not giving you money so you can sit in the VIP and pop bottles. Turn down for what? I'm not giving you money for that. I'm giving you money so that way you can take care of your friend, your family. That's what I'm giving you the money for, to take care of this business. That's what the investment people are giving the money for, because they want their money back. And this is me saying that if I was sitting there, won a lottery, and I'm going to basically, because realistically, if you, friends and family, life lesson, for me at least, was when you're dealing with friends and family, they ask you for a loan, consider that money a gift. It's easier for you to consider that, even if they call it a loan and they plan on paying you back. When you give them that money, consider that money a gift. Don't plan on seeing that money no more, unless you plan on losing your friend or your family. You don't want to, because it'll make Christmas uncomfortable. Just give them the money, and if they give you your money back, great. If they don't, okay, fine. I just know not to give you any money in the future. Don't give them your rent money unless you definitely trust them. That's all I'm saying. Be very hesitant about giving people money that you can't afford to give away. Don't lend people money that you can't afford to give away. Is all I would say on that. That's what my mom always told me, right? So if I was sitting there and like I said, James Lotto, I'm sitting there with my friends and family, and I'm about to give them this investment. This is that hands-off money. Okay, I give you this hands-off money. What I don't want to hear, what I wouldn't want to do is put you in a position where you're going to jam yourself up. Now, I am different than these venture capitalists or anybody who is an investor giving you this money. See, when they give you the money, they're not giving you the money saying, okay, it's a gift. You go ahead and do you. They're not giving you the money on that tip. They're giving you the money saying, I want my damn money back. Not only do I want my money back, I want more money with it. Right? And if you can't do that, then I'm going to try to figure a way to get my money back. It's not, oh well, we just lost it. We didn't lose shit. You lost it. You know what I mean? You better go get my money. That's how they see it. I'm just saying, for me, if I was sitting there watching it, there is something that Cody said during the course of this that just gave the game away. It just gave the game away. And it was this.
But CFO makes the decision on the money.
No, they don't.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
The CFO makes a decision on the money. Robin, I need you to be the CFO, because that way you can make the decision on the money. You can decide what to do. The two of us are together, because remember, Cody is going to be the CEO, and he's going to be the one in charge, because he's going to lead the family. And I'm the leader, and I'm going to lead the family as I'm going to lead, and they're going to follow, right? And then when it comes to it, Robin, I need you to be the CFO, because I need you to be in charge of the money so you can determine what the money is going to be spent on. And between the two of us, we're going to figure it out together. Bump them. And that's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? If we're all in this together, wasn't Robin crying, I want everybody to be a part of this web closet business, because I feel like I played the game as a kid, and I want everybody to play with me, and nobody wants to play my game. Now everybody wants to play the game, but you don't want to share the ball. You don't want to share the game. You're like that person, that little kid that plays Operation the whole time, the things are and you're like, all right, man, it's my turn. Let me get the tweezers. No, it's still my turn. That's Robin. Okay. And then as soon as you get up, like, all right, well, the hell with it. I'm tired of listening to this thing. All the whole time is driving me crazy. I'm ready to go. I'm tired of playing. Where you going? You don't want to play no more. That's your problem. You don't want to play with me. No, I don't want to sit here and watch you play. You find out that one of the pieces is solid gold. Here, let me get them tweezers. And it's indicative too. Like, well, all of a sudden the business starts to has a prospect where it can get $2 million. All of a sudden everybody's in it. I get that too. But that's where I was with Cody. Like Cody saying all of a sudden, well, the CFO, and he's hard looking at Robin. I need you to understand this. The CFO gets to decide what to do with the money. Remember? The CFO gets to decide what to do with the money. Remember the plan? That's where I'll be sitting like, whoa, what's going on? There's another part of it. And like I said, this one isn't going to be that bad, guys. It's not going to be till 3 o'clock in the morning, I promise you. But there's a second part of it. Right after, Cody sat there and said, wait, whoa, let me see. I just saw something real quick. Gina Fitzgerald. Tiffany is dangerous. This is so true. Simon wanted everybody to watch her. Gina Fitzgerald, you're so right. Family has to pay off Robin's debts. Yeah. Now you want to put her in a charge of millions? That's an excellent point too. Best customer made him crazy. Yup. That's an excellent point, Gina. The family had to pay off Robin's debt. So you're putting a person, and that's a fantastic freaking point. I hadn't looked at it from that respect, but you're absolutely right. You're talking about, again, James. I'm not saying Robin. I'm not saying Cody. I'm just saying James. Lotto James. We're going to call me Lotto James. Lotto James is sitting there with that big stack of money, right? I got that lottery ticket still fresh in my pocket. And I'm sitting there listening to them talk, and I'm like, wait a minute. You have somebody with a degree in accounting, and you don't want that person in charge of the money. But instead, you want the chick who came in with all kinds of debt? What's your FICO score? 3? Yeah, I mean, are you crazy? Like, there's no way in the world you giving them that money. If they would have went into, here's what's even crazier. Had they walked into that investment Shark Tank or whatever, and they had asked these investment capital group, hey, these are the people, and we're going to put Robin in charge of the money, and they understand who Robin is, and they understand who Janelle is, and everybody, all the players involved, they would say, what are you doing? And immediately at that point, that the ironic part about it is, and even kind of going back to what Kat had said earlier, Kat Bloomfield. What Kat Bloomfield had said earlier, I couldn't find her post, but what she said earlier, they would, the investment company, if they found out that you made inappropriate appointments to certain positions for people who are not qualified to do said positions, the second you sit there and you sign the contract, they'll look at the contract, make sure everything is signed, notarized, and done properly. They'll look you in the face and say, you know what? Who did you put as a CFO? Robin? Yeah, that's not going to work for us. We're going to go ahead and take the company over. They'll take the company over that same damn day. They'll take the company. You just basically signed your company over at that point. If that was a situation, they dead ass about their money. They not playing with you. You're the only ones playing. They're not playing. They serious about their money. They're not smiling and joking and laughing. The guy Stan was extremely nice. He's sitting there smiling and he's telling you stuff. And what makes it messed up, what makes it messed up in a way, is that it's very similar to what would happen. Everybody is nice and everybody is friendly before you sign the contracts. The minute you sign the contracts is what's in the paper. And part of what's going to be in the paper is a clause that's going to determine, a self-determination clause, where they're going to say that if you are not putting the right people in place, or you're not acting in the best interest of the company, blah, 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 say blase, blase, we are going to take your company. And he already said that. It's that funny, ha 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 ha, we're going to take your company. If you don't, if you're not making money, we're going to take your company. Ha 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 ha. If you make bad decisions, let me guess, you're going to take my company. You're right, we're going to take your company. And then when you do this kind of foolishness and you make these bad decisions, guess what they're going to do? You sign a contract, they're going to look at it, yeah, we're taking your company. You taking my company? Yeah, that's funny. No, I'm dead ass. We're taking your company. Yeah, make sure, and since you made payments on your house, like I said, we're taking that too. So you guys need to find a place to stay. But you got the $2 million. You haven't even written us the check. No, we haven't written you the check yet. But we know that you've been using credit cards and stuff that's been charged to the business. And since we own the business, and you took out credit cards in the business name, and you've been using those credit cards for personal reasons, and one of those reasons is to pay for your house. Guess what? We want to get your house. Dumb. And I'm saying that kind of joking. But when it comes to these types of this type of litigation, no, I don't. You can't do that. Look, I don't put nothing. The you can't shit is for when you're looking at general. when it comes to a lot of this, it comes down to the decisions of the court, what the law and the statutes within your township or jurisdiction say, and how the judge in that jurisdiction, or judges or courts in that jurisdiction determine those laws or decide that those laws will be rendered against whatever litigation you bring. Don't play around. Don't play around. So James had Raspberry said James had a great video where he showed Cody saying he was playing the "I'm not lying" game. Who says that unless they have the full intention of bamboozling people? Yep. That was one of the first things I said to my daughter when they hit that age where they start, boys pay a little more attention and becomes a little more realistic. Like, don't ever listen to a dude who comes out and says right off the top that he don't do this or he don't do that, he don't believe in this or he don't believe in that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, that when God does that, that's wrong. I don't believe in cheating. Cheating is wrong. Oh, that dude's cheating like shit. You just out of nowhere, you just drop that gem. Yeah, would you like to go out for coffee? Yeah, I like to go out for coffee. Yeah, because I like to ask you because, I don't want to feel like, I'm cheating or something because I don't believe in cheating. Yeah, that dude's a cheater. Thanks for volunteering the information, Playboy. You believe me? Trust me, because I'm an honest person. Yeah, that dude's a liar. Cat Bloomfield, I wonder if licensing went along with the money deal with the thank you. That's an excellent point. With the venture capitalists, if they took the business, they wouldn't own their own family's IP potentially. $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Cat Bloomfield. And that's an excellent point. And that's what I'm talking about. When push comes down to shove, the only thing that makes the sister wife's closet business viable is the sister wife, not even the sister wife closet name. The name doesn't mean anything. It's actually them. So it's very likely that they would sign some kind of binding agreement where they would have to be spokespeople for said jewelry. Because otherwise, the jewelry itself is worth nothing. The jewelry is useless. In fact, they have garages full of that stuff. So the jewelry isn't worth anything. The name in and of itself, the name and name recognition isn't worth anything. Well, it is a little bit because you have people coming to the site. But it's actually the image and the name. And even in line with what Kat is saying, as an exemplar, as an example of what she's talking about, Dave Chappelle talks about being in a contract with Comedy Central, right? And in his contract with Comedy Central, he had the Dave Chappelle Show, a show that was named after him, right? The Dave Chappelle Show. The show is extremely successful. He signed a contract, and most of these contracts, and I've seen these contracts before, they will have terms in there where they say, we are licensing your likeness and images for, usually connected to the project, but they can do it in a way where they actually own your likeness or representation, or I forget the exact phrasing that they use. I have some of them here, but they have it in perpetuity throughout the known and unknown universe. So throughout and for all time, or whatever the case may be. So essentially, if it's tied to a project or an assignment, or like say you're in a movie or a television show, they have the right to use your image. You can't come back later and say, hey, I know I starred in, Star Wars, whatever, Star Wars 14 or 15, and I was the star of that movie, and now that it's been 15 years, my kids or grandkids or whatever can come back and say to Disney that you owe me X amount of dollars because you're still using my great-great-grandfather's or my grandfather's image or my father's image in this particular film or project. So to protect themselves, they'll say, we own this image moving forward forever throughout the known and unknown universe. Dave Chappelle had that same contract where essentially he said, we own your name. We own your name. Prince had that same type of contract with Sony, which is why for a little while Prince was known as the artist, formerly known as Prince, the artist. Not, and he had that design on his face, right? And the reason why is because he had that type of contract. So in accordance to what Kat is saying and agreeing with her, in these types of situations, the venture capitalists, I'm sure, would insist that they would be able to own the images of Cody Brown and the sister wives. Now, that actually would be problematic, and this would be kind of a complication that they would have, in fairness, because I'm sure they already have a pre-existing contract with TLC. Unless TLC isn't completely insane or incompetent, they have the contract where they said that basically, not only do we own your image, your likeness, from now and in perpetuity throughout the known and unknown universe, but we actually own the trademark and name Sister Wives. So, and if they would be crazy. I mean, they would be completely insane if they didn't do that. But yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, I'm sure they would have to. Like, I couldn't imagine that they would let them just, we'll contract with your company for a bunch of junk jewelry that we would never be able to sell because nobody is buying Sister Wife Closet from Joe Blow or Joe Henry or was it Stan or Amy. They buy. The only reason why people would even, hell, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I even looked at that shit is because it was connected to the show, and I watch the show and I do the reviews on the show for YouTube. That's the only reason I look at that junk. Other than that, I would never consider looking at that stuff. If I saw that, that's not jewelry I would see online, or I'm kind of going through Google or whatever, and I see somebody, even if I saw somebody wearing it, I wouldn't say, ooh, what's that? I got to get me one of those. What are those? That wouldn't be a conversation for me. I mean, what the hell is he thinking? That shit is ugly. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's a Hollywood thing. Like, that's the only place you can wear that is Hollywood. So I think it's right there. Just rounding this out, because like I said, I don't want to drag you guys out too long, but what is this? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh my God, this Nancy has an interesting thing. Conspiracy theory. Robin wanted money to add more family members to the cul-de-sac, and that's why she needed cash now. Yeah, she needed more workers. They don't have children, they have a workforce. They're not expanding their country, their company, they're expanding their workforce. Alicia. I don't know why am I dragging it out? Crazy. TLC would definitely claim that the only reason the Browns have a name is because of TLC. Absolutely. And I can see them the TLC in this type of situation, they would roof the Browns. Like, they would roof them. You know what I mean? Roof them is for those not aware, roof them is a term that we used to use back in the day when you play stick ball and you play it in the street and you hit the ball and it go up on somebody's roof and now the game is over because some asshole wanted to try to hit a home run. And you roof the ball and now the game is over. Yeah, if Sister Wives actually tried to sign a contract to where they would bind their image or likeness to a company for a product so that they could try to be successful, TLC will roof their lives. They'll roof their career. They'll roof their bank accounts. Game over for all that. They would do them in. They'd tear them to pieces. Let's see. Okay. So we're talking about like the CFO position. And again, remember how angry Cody was when it came time for like Robin. The CFO determines where the money goes. They determine how to spend the money. Robin, giving that same kind of energy he was giving her when he took out the slobber down. And when Christine was having a baby, like the hint, obvious. Like, you guys are not good at this. You guys are not good at this. You're not subtle at all. Okay, Just Scrapping. Thank you, Just Scrapping. Good seeing you. 99 Super Chat. Fire! Got the best emojis. Brew Bear. What is this? Thank you, Just Scrapping. I appreciate you. If my husband bought some of that sister wife closet crap, I would have been horrified. Yeah, right. Could you imagine? Merry Christmas, girl. That shit would be terrible. I was a lonely man to call my own. Then I tried. Like, yeah, relationship's over. Sister wife closet. Like, where's that at? In the doghouse? Oh man, but yeah, do you remember when Cody? Like I said, Cody got all upset. He got mad. You know, Robin, you know what you doing? And then Cody had this to say because he started to go into a tangent and he got all into his fifis. And then I was like, wow, you know, it's kind of weird. Because he's trying to control, and I didn't make it as the succinct connections that I was making. Now, like I said, if I was sitting there and I'm just a guy, Lotto James, and I'm watching my family members and my friends having these kind of conversations, I'm sitting there with Counselor Nancy sitting, and I'm watching them have these conversations. What would I be thinking? And when Cody said this, it drove me crazy. Like I was like, what?
I've never been allowed to be in charge of this family. What the hell are we going to really get me in charge of this business? Really?
Somebody's got to be the head. Somebody's got to be the leader. I really want that to be Cody.
I really want that to be Cody. So Cody wants you to be in charge of the money. And then Cody turns around and says that he wants to be able to make all the decisions. So you want to be in charge of the money, and he wants to make all the decisions. The money and decisions. Or should I say, the decisions about the money. Because again, when Cody was talking about being CEO, I've never been in charge of this family. He started throwing a whole hissy fit about how he should be able to do whatever he wants to do. I'm in charge of this family. I'm the leader. I'm the patriarch. I should be able to do whatever I want to do. I've never been able to do this. Now all of a sudden, what happened to Mr. I don't want to be involved with the sister wife's closet? This is just a boutique business. This doesn't mean anything. I don't even want to have nothing to do with it. I don't feel comfortable being a part of this. I don't feel comfortable selling this jewelry or whatever. Now all of a sudden he's Mr. I've never been able to do the things that I want to do. You guys never believed in me. You never followed me. My man about to break it down, you know? And that's actually an excellent point. Can I call it up? There it is. About to come up and then it jumps back down. Audrey Bringer makes an excellent point. Money and power. There's a old saying. I've said it before, and I kind of grew up with this because I grew up in that Catholic church or whatever. Where they would always say, money is the root of all evil. And that was a big thing. Money is the root of all evil. Money's not the root of all evil. Money is a tool. Okay? Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is evil. Right? And when you are willing, because I said it yesterday and I'll say it now. There's good money and there's bad money. Not all money is good money. Some money is bad money. Some money you don't want to have anything to do with. Blood money is that type of bad money that you don't have nothing to do with. Money that hurts people and causes pain. When you're willing to sacrifice your character, your integrity, you're willing to degrade yourself for money, the love of money and having things and materialism, then that could put you in a bad position. Now, this isn't saying that you don't do things to try to survive because you are trying to do things to make yourself feel better or be able to operate better or do things for your family. That's not what I'm talking about. Is this getting darker? Okay, I think that's better, right? Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. When you're trying to survive, you're hungry, you're trying to feed your kids or whatever the case. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you're ready to put your character aside because you just want to have nicer stuff. And that's kind of where they are now. Because what Cody is trying to do, and the reason why he's throwing that temper tantrum is because he wants to be in position. And he wants these ladies to stop resisting him. And I thought at first, when I first saw it, I think I was leaning more towards the idea that Cody was taking a position that I need you guys to just let me do this, and I'm mad because I can't do it the way I want to do it, etc., etc., etc. And I always kind of thought that he was going to take the money. But I never really put it together that not only was he going to take the money, but it was going to be a straight up robbery, taking all the money. Like, again, this is me not saying Cody or Robin. This is me saying if I'm using their names as somebody who, if I was sitting in the room, Lotto James was sitting there watching my family members talk about this stuff the way they're talking about it, this is what I would be thinking about my friends or family. Because at that point, you guys are about to use this blessing that I plan on bestowing on you and your family to take care of you and your family and your kids and all your responsibilities. You're going to use that for something wrong. You're going to do the wrong thing with it. And so there's that point of it. Now, the second part of it that I want to show, and this is the last clip I have, and then I'll talk about it a little more fully and I'll be able to interact a little more with the chat. But the last clip that I want to show is talking about why Cody needs to make these unilateral decisions. Let's take a look.
When have I been in charge of this family? When? When have we ever not made every single decision by committee? When?
But a CEO doesn't unilaterally rule. He takes all the consensus and makes a decision.
Sure.
How do you not do that right now in our family? You
I
take all
don't,
the
feel like
information.
I don't feel like I've ever been empowered as the head of this family. Ever.
I don't feel like I've ever been empowered as the head of this family, ever. The whole thing is that why is it such a power struggle now? Why is it so important that you have all the power now? Why is it critical that you're able to make unilateral decisions about things that affect the rest of the family now? You weren't this angry about it 3 weeks ago or 20 days ago before you had the prospect that you were going to get $2.5 million. Now all of a sudden there's big money sitting on the table and there's a possibility that you're getting this life-changing amount of money. Now all of a sudden you want to be able to decide to do whatever you want to do with this money without ever having to consult or talk to anybody in the business or in the family. And I would have an issue with that. That would be a big problem for me. I would be very curious as to why he's so upset. What are you mad about, bro? What are you upset about? This is your family. These are the people. These are your partners. These are the people. I'm not just giving the money to you. I'm giving the money to them too. And that's a big part of what I wanted to say when it comes to this. Because I thought about that. And as I was listening to them talk, and again, this is James, Lotto James talking about somebody who might be in my family or a friend of mine if I hit this big money, and I was sitting there listening to them having this conversation. This is something that would strike me. Not only are you guys talking about taking this money, which I always thought might be a possibility. And I had a video about them taking the $2.5 million from the family. That's always been a thing. But it really occurred to me, especially as you're dealing with a third party, because you're not just dealing with the wives and taking money that you get from TLC, then they put into one bank account and you spend that money in the bank account. We're not just talking about that. What we're also talking about is the fact that you're going to need somebody to blame. Let me say that one more again. When you take this money from James, the Lotto James, when my friends or family take this money from me, and I consider this to be an investment, a business investment, when I come back to get my money, they're going to need somebody to blame for taking my money. Somebody who's going to be responsible for this money being gone. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Because it's funny to me. Isn't it funny that Robin, knowing that she wants to leave because she wants to take care of her family, she want to have more kids, she want to be able to step away from the business and not really have to deal with it. Isn't it funny that one, Cody is so insistent, understanding this, because remember that conversation happened before they went to see Nancy. Understanding that Robin wants to step away from the business and she doesn't want to have anything really to do with the business because she wants to focus on getting pregnant and having more kids. So isn't it funny that Cody is so determined that she has to determine where the money is going, how the money comes in, and what the money is spent on? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Isn't it also funny that Robin is insisting that Mary step into that position where she's going to be the person who's taking over for her and she's going to be her partner as she steps out of the company? So you're going to be out of the company, but you're still going to be making decisions for the company even though I'm sitting in the position. And this is why I say, if I was sitting in a job and my boss comes to me and says, James, we're going to promote you to be in charge of this money, this account. And I say, okay, that sounds like a plan. I'm in charge of this account. He said, yeah, James, you're in charge of this account. But they still have access to said account. And they can still make withdrawals or draw checks on said account. They can still spend money on said account. But I, on paper, am responsible for said account. When money turns up missing from that account, who's in trouble? Who's in trouble? Oh, it's the person who spent the money. And I'm going to be able to say, what are you talking about, James? You're going to blame, not blaming Robin, but you're going to blame friends and family. Blotto James, you going to blame the one who was pregnant and is out on maternity leave? You're the one who was doing it. This is your responsibility, James. A woman like Mary? Scapegoat. When you talk about the accounting and the financial responsibilities. Who's in charge of the finances? Janelle. Who always did the finances? Janelle. Who was the one that when they presented to the investment group? Who's the one that put the numbers together and did the financials for the group? Janelle. So if you asked the group who the CFO is, who would they say? Janelle. So the CFO and the acting COO are the only two people who are involved. Cody can always step back and say, I had nothing to do with it because I didn't get to make no decisions. I didn't have no power at all. I never get to make no decisions. I didn't know what happened. I was just merely spending money. And I was made a decision to pass the money on. And they had to figure out what to do with the business. After they get finished, after Cody and Robin, after my relatives who would be in a position like Cody or Robin, and my position is I'm sitting there listening to them talk, my suspicion would be after they get finished emptying this bank account and basically stripping out this business of all the finances and everything that make this business valuable, they're going to step aside and they're going to leave these other two in the wind dangling with this carcass, this empty carcass, and they have to explain to the investment group where the money went and what the money's doing. That's where I was going with it yesterday. And that's what struck me as funny. Like, that started hitting me. It's weird. It's just weird. Kathy Mosley, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Kathy. Janelle's 401k went to my sister wife's closet instead of her gym. This is true. And paying off her debt and making sure that they had a place to stay in Vegas. Janelle's 401k went to a lot of stuff. Like, they stripped that out. Then they took the CFO title. Right. They took the CFO title in name only, or should I say, they took the CFO title in responsibility for determining where the money was being spent only, because they fully expected Cody when he was sitting there looking all, and Janelle was asking, well, what am I staying up for? Because that's your job. Your job is to do the job. Robin's job is to determine where the money is being spent. That's it. Robin's job is to spend the money. Your job is to count the money. And that's how he was treating her. Janelle, and like, I would be concerned, again, if I was sitting there in this meeting, and this is friends and family, my concern would be that I have two of my friends and family are trying to screw their family over. They trying to screw everybody else over. Because I would be really concerned about people who are concerned about controlling bank accounts and money, but don't want to have their name on anything as far as responsibility is concerned. Trying to put other people, they call them cutouts. You try to put cutouts in position so that way when the house of cards fall down, they're the ones that have to bear the weight. They're the ones that's in position to get in trouble. Don't, like I said, you see this happens in jobs. All of a sudden somebody volunteer asks you to do something, you working on this project or you doing this thing and it's all gravy and everything is great and wonderful and you're doing the job and basically all the responsibilities of the job, but you don't have any power or authority to make sure that the job gets done and somebody else is doing whatever they want to do. And at the end of the day, even though you can delegate authority, you can't delegate responsibility. And they're putting them in a position where they are going to be the ones who are responsible for the things falling apart. If Mary is the one who is doing the day-to-day operations of the company, if the company is underperforming or not performing, Mary is responsible, even though Robin is spending the money. If Mary is doing the day-to-day operations is what the venture capitalists are interested in. If they say that we're going to pay this money out, we're going to set up a bonus structure so that we can pay the executives who haven't drawn a check or haven't drawn pay for 2 years. They've been working on this nonstop. They haven't been paid. Technically, if they maintain or they have kept records of how much time and effort they've been putting into the business, how much money they've been putting into the business. If they Robin sets a fee structure for what she should get paid for designing the jewelry and she hasn't paid herself yet, they could feasibly use the $2.5 million to pay those past debts. That's a very rudimentary, slick, stupid way to get yourself into a whole lot of trouble, but it could be done. It could be argued that that's what you were doing. You were just merely using the investment to pay past debts, and you're going to try to use what's left over to finance the rest of the business. It just turns out there was nothing left after you got finished paying everything. And then when investment bankers comes back and say, hey, where's the rest of our money? Robin and Cody just look at each other and say, well, we wasn't really involved. It was Janelle and Mary. You better talk to them. Anyway, let me get down to the dock because my boat is about to... I'm about to go on a boat ride. I'm about to go on a three-month cruise. But let me see what you guys have to say. Let me know if you guys think I might be on to something. Let me know if you guys think I'm wrong. Rochelle J. Oh, the horror. The language you just used. Robin doesn't allow four-letter words like that around her house. Work. Wow, I never thought you would use such language. Yeah, right. They'll all be working. And that's one of the things, too, because after they got that $2.5 million and they got to try to figure out how to pay that back, because they would have had to pay that money back. There's no way they would have got off on that money. And the only feasible way, because even kind of tag teaming in what Kat was saying, I think I implied it earlier, or said it earlier, and she tagged in, and I'm gonna tag it back. With that, and maybe some folks that even mentioned in the chat that the only way any investment group would invest in Sister Wife's Closet, full in my position, my assessment, the only way they would invest in this business is if they were planning on taking the business. Period. Like the way they're structured, how things are being done, how the business was proceeding, the sales, the designs of the jewelry, the cost of the jewelry, the price points that they had as far as the jewelry is concerned. There's no way in the world that business was ever going to work. So I couldn't see somebody who had $2.5 million to invest putting it into this business. I just couldn't see it. The only way I could see them doing it is if there was something within the business that they wanted to capture or take, like their image, like the name, like for the name recognition, like the website or something of that sort that had value. They would take the business over, strip away the things or claw back the things that were of value and just get rid of the rest. They junk the rest and possibly refurbish or recondition the things that they thought were valuable so that they can make it more valuable so they could sell it. Like that's the only way I could see that would even be a conversation. Like I couldn't even see a conversation happening. Let's see, Lo. I used to be a treasurer of a high school boosters club and made sure every penny was accounted. And I had a second person with me every time I counted money. I'm not going down. Right? Not, you know, Lo, right here. Right here. Right here. Shit. No way, no shot. I go to jail, but especially look. I've always said, like, cause I've had some pretty decent positions with things that might have been of some value, some things of value. Not even to play it down, but things of value. And I've always said, like, there's no way in the world I will be there stealing shit, like. If you're willing to give up your reputation, your integrity, your dignity, and everything else, the price tag should literally be, I only have to steal one time and I'll never, ever have to work again. I got enough from this one time that I can go to another country because I'm gonna have to live in extradition because I'm taking that much. I'm gonna have to get. They can't extradite me because they'll build a jail around me and then that jail will turn to sand and ash before they let my ass out. That got so much. You have to be able to go to a country that you can't be extradited from. You have to live like a king for the rest of your days. Live like a king for the rest of your days, and it'll be so legendary that they'll be sitting there doing conventions and seminars about what I did. Like, there's no way in the world I would go somewhere and be like, oh, $2.5 million, you can't do shit with $2.5 million. That's a lot of money, but that's not enough run money. You need run money is what you need. $2.5 million ain't enough. Like, you were in so much trouble. But even then, like, I'm of the position that I wouldn't take anything, but like Lo said, I would want to make sure that everything is accounted for, and I wouldn't want there to be any question that something went amiss or something was wrong, especially when you're dealing with that level of money. I don't want there to even be a question or a hint that there was some kind of impropriety or that funds were mismanaged, mishandled, or misappropriated. Right? You did it by mistake, you did it on purpose, or you just lost it. Like, I don't want none of that. So yeah, we count that money twice, and then I'm gonna count the money, you gonna count the money, we count the money together. Like, that's that kind of stuff. Oh, you're being paranoid. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Especially with $2.5 million. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke. Especially, and there's also a point too. One of the things that I've always, story time. One of the things I've always tried to impress upon my kids. Like, you want to make sure, especially, when you're sitting in a position where you have shit to lose, you have to be mindful of how you conduct yourself and how you move in these spaces. The sister wives, even though they're not sitting there wealthy and loaded and they don't have a ton of money, you have crap to lose. You had houses to lose. You had kids to lose. And frankly, you have your freedom to lose. And, one of the things that really has always hit me, especially as I was watching the Love After Lockup, which I will be doing reviews on Love After Lockup. I got some stuff planned for you guys. Hopefully it works, and hopefully things kind of work out where it's going to be awesome and you guys will hopefully really enjoy it. But as I was watching Love After Lockup, and you talk about these guys and these gals going to jail, the thing about going to prison in the penitentiary system, the whole idea of the penitentiary system, one is the penitentiary is from the root word repent or repentance. So you're supposed to show repentance in there, whatever. But the whole idea of how we punish people, the way we punish people is essentially we wick time off your life. That's how we punish people. We wick time off of you. We take time from you. So you could have people who go to jail and in a lifetime, like anybody who was born in the 70s or early 80s, you have seen things within your lifetime. You've seen the development of microwaves. You've seen the development of, Laserdisc, Betamax, VCR. You've seen corded phones, rotary phones, to push button phones, to cordless phones, to wireless phones, to cell phones. You've seen the development of the internet. You've seen the development of computers, going from big room full of computers to laptops to phones, supercomputers that you walk around with your pockets. You've seen where you can make phone calls throughout the country for basically no money on a plan, and it almost costs you nothing. You've seen a lot of things. And there are people who have been in jail during that time who have seen none of it. Come out and go to jail, come out. They don't know nothing about microwaves. They don't know that you can sit down and watch TV on demand all the time. They still looking for the stations of the channels. They waiting for TV to go off at 3 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, TV go off. They're still waiting for that. They wick time off your life. You miss things. You go to jail, all your buddies are hanging out. And this is why I always press to my kids, stay on the straight and narrow. You go, you get involved with some dumb shit with some people. You go to jail. Your friends are out. They go on with their lives. When you come out, you're still in that same position you were in when you went in. But when you get out, your friends and the guys you used to hang out with, gals you used to hang out with, they have families now. They have kids. They have responsibilities. They have, they're not driving a little 2-seater hot car. They're driving minivans. They're not going to the club. They're going to PTA meetings. That life moves on. And all a penitentiary did to you is wick time off your life. And especially as I'm looking at, not talking about Cody or Robin, I'm just talking about James, Lotto James, and potentially people who will be in my friend or family group who will be approaching folks about getting investment for a business that they don't really believe in, or they're not really trying to work, but they essentially want to take that money. You put yourself in a position where you can wind up in a box for 5 to 10, 5 or 10 joints. You come out, your kids, you go in, your kids aren't even in school, barely walking and barely talking. You come out, your kids are in middle school. What the shit did you do? You know what I mean? $2.5 million is not worth it. I mean, it's a lot of money. I would like to have $2.5 million. Don't get me wrong. If anybody's out there has $2.5 million to give a player, trust me, I know what I would do with it. But give me $2.5 million to miss 10 years of my life, to miss 10 years of my kid's life, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think, because that's just where I'm at, especially as I'm looking at it. And I see what really struck me and what really kind of bothers me is the cruel nature of, if I'm right, and I'm not even saying I'm 100% right. It's just things that I'm looking at it and I'm like, this makes sense. That you guys were setting them up as cutouts and you were planning on ripping his money and you were going to leave them hanging. You weren't even going to take the 2.5 because I don't believe that Cody and Robin were planning on taking 2.5 and splitting it up amongst these 4 women. Because if they were in on the heist and you were going to give them a cut of the money, why wouldn't you tell them, like, look, we're going to get this 2.5. We paying our house off first off, paying the houses off. That give us $500,000 left. Well, our houses are 100% paid off because, you figure the houses are worth at least 500 with the with everything that they did plus taxes, pay off a whole 9. You pay to maybe make some changes, alterations, or improvements that they want to make before they cut the well. Give them each 500. They pay their house off. House is 100% paid off. You have $500,000 left. You can try to make a good run with that little bit of money. Hey, whatever's whatever. But then we all have it till he. But that's not what they were doing. You're not planning on sharing the money when you're having an argument with people about who's going to be in charge of spending the money, and you're trying to circle the wagons on not only who's going to be spending the money and keeping track of the money, but making sure that nobody else know where the money is going. They're not in on it. You know what I mean? If you have if your buddies are ever sitting around and you guys are talking about doing something nefarious and you don't really understand the plan, you're not in on the plan. You are not part of the crew, right? And then when I'm watching Mary, Janelle, and Christine, they weren't part of the what they were doing. They weren't part of it. I'm just saying that's just how I feel about it. All right, Yvonne, I'll see you later. But yeah, that's what I have. It's 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this bad boy up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks, Miss Indies. You guys make me smile too. Bridget Knott said, "James, yes, it is a giant cover up." I know. That's just how I feel about it. Like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, this shit don't make no sense. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense, and that's the problem that I have. It's that it's Occam's razor. Like it just I could come up with like some crazy way that they would never do this, but I just don't trust them. Like I just don't trust them because I've seen too much cruelty between them and the other wives for me to think that they're just not going to do something because it would be cruel or because it would be evil or because it would potentially ruin their lives. Because they had no problem with getting them out to Arizona and ruin their lives. And that's, I'm just saying. What's this? Oh, damn it. This channel is very informative of life skills too. Oh, thank you, Donna Miller. I appreciate that. I try. There's a person I was watching earlier. I don't even know their name. But I was watching them. The therapist. Had an excellent video on the therapy sessions and stuff. And I totally agree with a lot of the stuff she was saying. Excellent video. I got to post it somewhere. It's on a Facebook page. Somebody, I think, tagged me on the Facebook page. I like to do it live with her, too. Tiffany H. Yep. Said you base a lot of your past experience on your life experience, your future experience on your life experience. This is true. And that's safe. And that's all, like, realistically, that's what relationships are. And that's how you determine. Jacqueline Thompson. Thank you. Thompson. Yeah. Trody and Robin Liebrows. Grifter is disgusted. Yeah. Mary don't like y'all talking about Robin's eyebrows. That's our friend. Like, I think your friend was setting your ass up. Amy Wheeler in the house. Tiffany H. You base your future off your past experience. They were not being honest. Yeah. I hate mornings in the house. Yeah, but that's what I have, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the video. If you guys watch the video again, or if you guys want to leave some stuff, I'll leave this kind of running for a little bit so that everybody can get their chat on. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know it was 2 back-to-back But since I didn't do the video with Sarah and Amanda this morning, or the live with Sarah and Amanda earlier, because, we have some things going on. Folks are on vacation, and next week some folks are on vacation. But we will be back in 2 weeks. And again, I think Sarah has something that you guys are going to think is really cool, because I think it's really cool what she has coming up. So keep an eye out for that on our Reality Squad. Yeah, but make sure you guys, Audrey Bringer, you have a great night. Tina Cook in the house. I see you. Jay Class, how long was you in jail? I was never in jail. Thank goodness. Me and jail do not agree. Like I told you yesterday, James don't go to jail, Jack. Hell to the no. Hell no. My mom actually went, story time. When I was a kid, I'll give you guys this last one and I'll let you go. When I was a kid, you're a young man and coming up in the world, my mom told me, like, if you go out there, because I was always out and I was always doing stuff. I was a busy kid, just always around, meeting people, talking to folks and that kind of stuff. Involved with all kinds of organizations and stuff. That's just how I was, very social. And she said, you go out there and you get yourself in trouble, and you get locked up, don't call here. Be a wasted phone call. It's like, I appreciate you calling and let me know where you at. So I can put the slide latch on, but that be that, you know what I mean? And I was thinking, of course, to myself, like, if I ever got in trouble with the police, the last people I would call is my parents. Because they were not above putting hands on folks. So, yeah, man. No, I'm good. No, thank you. You know what I mean? I was not calling home for that. Like, you don't want to call your parents? No, I do not. I'll stay here with you and big lumberjack Bubba in there. Forget that. So, no. Now, do I know about people who go to jail? Yeah. I've been around, Jack. I've met all kinds of folks. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. What is this? Carolyn R. I work for a loan company. Okay. Access to money galore. I was always super careful, counting with my assistant, counting in full view of the cameras when I worked alone. Always careful. Hell to the yeah. Because like I said, Carolyn, you same thing. I mean, in my little hands, I've held like ridiculous, copious amounts of money or information that could have been ridiculous money. But no, thank you. I don't like I said, I don't want none of that smoke. I don't want none of that smoke. I don't want no parts of that shit. Don't put my names in nothing. Look, y'all come stand with me. We in it together. So you count this, you count that. You know what I mean? No. Counts and all that stuff. Counts receivable. No. No. Because you ain't never gonna be able to get that. Like, and it's always it's an integrity thing. Like, of course, I would never consider doing it, but just even logically, it wouldn't make sense in most cases, because for what I would have to take, I would never be able to do the things that I would need to do for me to get the thing that I took to where I needed to be, for it to be worth it. Like, it just wouldn't be worth it. It's not worth my reputation. You spend your whole life building a reputation, you're gonna give it away for something. And that's kind of what kind of trips me out when I knew people got caught shoplifting. There's no slight on anybody got caught shoplifting, but I knew people got caught shoplifting, and that would be one of the things I would say. Like, you gave away your integrity for what? Pack of gum? Some, candy bars? My grandfather owned a store, and, we worked them stores when we was kids, which is a great experience in a way, but it was kind of rough in another way, because he had free labor. But me and my cousins, we used to work the store, And every now and again, you have somebody come in, they might take something, and it would be something silly. And it would be kids our age, and we wind up talking to them. They'd be like, why would you steal this? Like half the time, and my grandfather was the type of dude, and I'm going to give him props. I'm going to give him his flowers. Because he was genuinely the type of dude where he had like a neighborhood corner store, right? And if people came into the store and something happened in their family and they weren't able to, like they lost a job or somebody died or whatever the case may be, like a parent, they lost a parent or, something, and they came into the store and they couldn't afford something, he would have us go back, like cut them some lunch meat or whatever, cut them a pound of this or a pound of that, some cheese, give them this, give them that. And he would basically give them a bag of groceries to take home. Don't worry about paying it. You pay me when you get it. And that's the kind of dude he was, right? Pay me when you get it. And so when you look at it as somebody who would give to the communities and the way he would give to the communities, and it didn't make sense that somebody would come into the store and try to steal from him. One, two, if you were really in need, he would have gave you it. He would have gave it to you. You wouldn't have to steal anything. You don't have to steal, And so when you take that way, you're giving away so much of your integrity, and you're giving away your reputation, and you look at what you gave that away for. And that's where the trade-off comes in. Like, are you giving it away because you're trying to feed your family, you're hungry, you have food insecurity, or are you stealing something because you just want to have something nice? There's a difference. Bridget Knott said, we need more early lives. Yes, I know. Them late boys, boy. That Monday morning is rough. What am I doing to myself? Yeah, I might have to knock those up a little bit. But it's weird because it's such a weird time, and I might try to push it up just as an aside. Like, I'm balancing it out because I want to keep the slot right after the Sister Wives go off as well, because they're going to start doing it. I heard rumor is that they're going to this might be the last season of Sister Wives. I don't know. We shall see. Just putting that out there though. Cat Be Kind. I wish Janelle could get all her money back to everything. She trusted way too much, and he took her for everything, and she had even her retirement. They took her for everything she had, even her retirement. This is true. And one of the sad parts about it is that I used to have friends like that. I used to talk to them, and they would get into relationships with people, and they would always come back and be like, I feel bad because I was doing that, and I treated them this, and I was trying to be a decent person or trying to be a decent partner, and I was treated this way. I was cheated on, or they broke up with me anyway, or whatever the case may be. And one of the things that I consistently used to say, because I genuinely believe this, is that don't change because somebody who didn't appreciate you for what you had or who you were or what you were contributing to a relationship. Don't change because that person didn't appreciate who you were or what you were doing or what you contributed. In the case of Janelle, it's easy to look at them and say, oh, she was dumb, she was stupid. No, she was doing what you should be doing in a relationship, a healthy relationship. You should be trying to make sacrifices and figure out how you can make your family work, and make sacrifices to make your family work and provide for your family. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing that made it sickening was the fact that you had people who were looking at that blessing and took advantage of that blessing. That's what made it disgusting. It wasn't the fact that Janelle did it. What she did was she was showing loyalty and love and kindness to her partner and to her family. But what happened was her family took advantage of her and screwed her. And that's unfortunate. But what she did, I felt, was admirable. And I've always held the position that Janelle, out of all the sister wives, including the two who come from polygamous backgrounds, Janelle, in her mindset, was probably the most functional person in the polygamous relationship. She was the one who was probably the most suited to be in a polygamous relationship because she was willing to share her husband. She enjoyed her time alone and her independence, but at the same time, she was willing to make sacrifices for the larger family. That to me, in my mind and my machinations, as I've said before, I wouldn't do a polygamous family, but if I were to do a polygamous family, I think that would be in step or in line with the type of person who would have to be in that partnership. And I think Janelle is more in line with that. Deanna Gagnon, I truly love how the three of you support each other. Some creators are not nice to others. This is very true. But I think that they're aside from being amazing content creators, I think they're at least in my interactions, they're very good people. They're very kind people. So yeah, I enjoy my time with Sarah and Amanda. Like they're fun too. Plus the shows are fun. So I mean that makes it even more awesome. Like so you get to go do something with somebody and it's a good time. It makes it even better. But they're genuinely good people. So the people that, at least in my experience with them, the people that you see on screen are the people that they are even behind the curtain. So when we kind of go off and we're kind of talking or having conversations, off of the stream, it's pretty much the same type of conversation, the same tenor of conversation that I have with them is pretty much what we have online. So everything that you see, even during the streaming, is genuine. So, and they're like I said, they're awesome. Both of them are funny. Cool folks, man. Cool folks. What is this? Renee Henderson. I raised my son the same way. He's 48 years old now. Okay. I told him, don't call me if you mess around as a criminal. Yeah. That's it. You know what? And that's story time. Another thing my mom told me, even about drugs and stuff. When it was like, you hit a certain age, I guess you gotta talk to them, especially now about drugs because there's no real experimentation. In early years, like the 60s, maybe 70s, maybe even 80s, there was a time where people could experiment and, go sow their wild oats and try stuff. But now, a lot of this shit they have out there now, one and done. You try it one time, that's it. It's a wrap. You full-fledged, you all the way in. So my mom was big on like, don't put yourself in a situation. It wasn't just the substances, but with anything. She said, don't put yourself in a situation where I have to look out my the blinds or the peephole or whatever and see you standing on my step and not want to open the door. You know what I mean? And that meant a lot to me because just the fact that when I got older, like to this day, I have a key to my parents' house. My mom had passed away, but my dad is still there. I have a key to my dad's house to this day. I could get up right now, jump in my car, drive to my dad's house and let myself into my dad's house because we have that type of relationship. And to me, that was very important that you don't, you don't betray that trust to where they don't feel like they can trust you anymore. I say that to my kids. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where I'm looking out the door and I'm like, what you want? What you need? Get on my step. What I mean? Don't put yourself in that situation. And it's important that that I'm able to trust you. Like that's key. And what, like I said earlier, with this whole thing with the investment bankers and the venture capitalists and the potential of the $2.5 million, if I was sitting there listening to them talking the way they're talking and what they're saying, I would have a problem with trusting them. And once that trust is broken, it would be very difficult for me to move forward, even aside or sans the relationship of the business relationship that we would have together to try to get Sister Wife's Closet off the ground. But for us to function as a family, I would have a lot of difficulties with that. This is also part of the reason quiet is kept. And then I'll wrap it up on this. This is also part of the reason why they say that you should be very hesitant to enter into business arrangements with friends and family for this very reason. Because when you start to put money, greed, and opportunity in line with certain relationships, it can become very problematic because people can overreach, overstep, maybe betray, and try certain things that make you not trust them, which damages your relationship and makes it a situation where you can no longer trust them. They betrayed me with the business, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the business stuff and the personal stuff never cross and it doesn't matter and they're completely disconnected. If I don't trust you, because the whole reason why we're in business together, if we break it all the way down, the whole reason why we're in business together is because we have a familial or a personal relationship which opened the door and gave leave for us to be in business together. And if I can't trust that relationship anymore because I can't trust this business relationship anymore, then what do we have? And that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm still looking at the chat. I wish I could comment on some more stuff, but I don't want to run this too late because I know I hit you guys twice and I don't want to overdo it. You guys taking advantage of my time, my patience, James. I won't be that guy. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I genuinely appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for being super cool in the chat. As always, just want to make sure I got everything. Yep. Thanks for being super cool in the chat. As always, thanks for supporting each other. That's what we're about here on this channel. Guys, that's my take. Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of curious what you guys think too. So if you rewatch the video or if you leave a comment, I appreciate it. But that's my take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.